our next bout is in the heavyweight division. We get to see the big boys now at 265 pounds, presented by Hogs Upstairs Tavern. It's Ben Rowland at 1-0 out of Middlesboro, Kentucky, taking on Tim Anderson out of Gate City, Virginia. He is 0-1. All right, for our official fighter introduction, let's go to Jennifer Oxendine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this next bout is brought to you by Hogs Upstairs Tavern, which just so happens to be the official after party, the only place that you can see the fight awards for tonight. Make sure you check them out after the fights tonight. This bout is a mixed martial arts bout in the heavyweight division. First, fighting out of the Hogs red corner, please welcome Ben Rowland.
All right, we get to see the heavyweights now here at Valor Fights 25 go for gold. It's Ben Rowland at 1-0, who's out of the third degree MMA camp in Middlesboro, Kentucky. The 39-year-old, 6'3", debuted in impressive fashion. We saw him last time out, Apex 7. He ran through Burt Jones. His presence, Sawyer, I mean, this guy is massive.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember this guy.
Yeah.
He's intimidating.
Absolutely.
Big guy.
He had his chin up, his hands down, was screaming, and knocked dude's head off.
Yep.
It was incredible.
Burt Jones, that's right.
He's got the Andre Arlovsky grill in there with the mouthpiece with the fangs.
And seriously, he's so intimidating, he kept having guys back out. That's why he couldn't fight.
Yep.
Because guys would get a look at him, maybe jump on Facebook or something. And see
It
him on
happens a lot
social media.
nowadays, man. Like Gavin Walker, my teammate, same thing happened to him. He had to change his profile picture because, well, I mean, he looks like the Hulk. I mean, it's different for some people, I'm sure, but he had to change his profile picture after 3 dudes backed out of him.
Well, with the heavyweights, you're probably trying to scout your opponent even more because there could be a greater range of what those guys look like.
You can
right?
have a putty guy, you can have a jet guy.
Well, the thing is, too, I mean, you never know. Like we talked about Roy Nelson being the prime example of just of how you never know how somebody's looks is going to perform. That ain't always the case, but then sometimes, I mean, if they look the part and they're scary, but you can watch them if there's no film on them. Like Gavin, there was no film on Gavin, so everybody just had to go off on Facebook pictures of what he looked like. You know, could be possible with this guy.
So Ben Rowland, obviously, as a heavyweight, is going to be powerful and aggressive. And he is in the cage now to introduce his opponent. Let's go back to Jennifer Oxendine.
And his opponent, fighting out of the Ogle Elrod and Baril Blue corner, please welcome to the cage, Tim Anderson.
Tim Anderson, the opponent for Ben Rowland in this heavyweight bout. Anderson out of Gate City, Virginia, fights out of the Team Slayer camp. He's 33 years old, 6'2", debuted at Apex 6, lost to CJ Glenn in a fight he took on just 3 days' notice. Big and strong, aggressive. He's a power lifter.
Yeah.
Still kind of raw though in the sport. What do you think about a power lifter in MMA?
He's referring to my teammate. He's one of the biggest heavyweights I know, and that's what he was before he made the transition. Cardio is the main thing for MMA, honestly. Like, especially as an amateur. Talk a little bit more about it after the tape.
That's right. Ben Rowland at 1-0. Tim Anderson at 0-1. Anderson 6 years younger than the intimidating presence Ben Rowland. Rowland 1 inch taller, and then you see the weight difference, about 5 pounds.
Yeah.
Ben Rowland heavier than Tim Anderson. You were saying, Conte?
Back to the tape real fast. 39 years old and making your debut a few months ago. We talked about that a little bit last time. That's incredible. And to be 33 years old making your debut as well, I mean, that's pretty impressive too. And I don't have a clue what we was talking about before the teletape. Just to be honest.
We're talking about being a power lifter and how Gavin Walker does that as well.
Yeah, I mean, in amateur MMA, especially, as you get older and everything, your cardio seems to, decrease just a little bit. And that's the main thing for a lot of MMA. If you can go longer than the next guy, you'll probably end up beating him, even if he's better than you or whatever. If you can, weather the storm and all that, you can most likely, be able to win the fight. So, you know, you just have to make the transition from being a power lifter and just lifting heavy things and having no cardio to being like, okay, now it's full-on blown cardio now.
And so we talked about it earlier with the kickboxing, with the heavyweights. Fans love it because you have a chance to see a massive knockout.
Right. I mean, you know, like you guys were saying, the whole powerlifting thing, it's all muscle endurance when you get in MMA, you know, versus kickboxing. There's a lot more cardio involved with the whole wrestling, especially these guys are this big. I mean, picking up a 240-pound guy, I mean, it's difficult, you know, especially round 3.
Now, I know both of them said that they wanted to get up there and trade punches with each other, but sometimes when people get hit, they change their mind and go to wrestling. So, especially when you're a heavyweight, you don't want them big punches coming at you.
Plan B.
All right, our official introductions. Back to Jennifer Oxendine.
This bout is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. First, out of the Hogs red corner, representing third-degree MMA in Middlesboro, Kentucky, holding a record of 1 win and 0 defeats. He weighs in at 234 pounds. Please put your hands together for Ben Rowland. And out of the OEB blue corner, he holds a record of 0 wins and 1 defeat. Fighting out of Team Slayer in Gate City, Virginia. He weighs in at 229 pounds. Please welcome Tim Anderson. Your referee for this fight is Jimmy Neely.
Jimmy Neely, our referee for this bout presented by Hogs Upstairs Tavern. It's a heavyweight bout at 265. Ben Rowland in the black and green Venom trunks taking on Tim Anderson in the red trunks. This 3-minute rounds at 265. Ben Rowland at 234 and Tim Anderson at 223. Touch of gloves and we are underway.
Exciting, gentlemen.
Yeah, you better get your cameras out.
Good jab.
When the heavyweights are in, you better get your cameras out, boys. Already the plan B that has.
Yeah. Saw it shoot.
Has Anderson win. Anderson wins as plan B immediately.
Oh man, he don't need to lock up with him. He's way too big.
Man, that left, that jab sticking hard.
Good kick there from Rowland. Anderson.
Oh man, good shot.
Watch the uppercut coming out here from Rowland. Yeah.
Chin up as he's trying to back off of that.
Oh boy.
Ducked his
man.
head.
Hey, nice
Good
outside tie
kicks.
kick. Fake the kick.
And you know, Tim Anderson just staying on the fence. He doesn't need to do that at all. He's getting stalked by Ben Rowland here.
Anderson looks hesitant.
He's got tagged.
Yeah, he did get tagged right there. That's the thing. He's throwing that kick good too, Vince. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's all right. Rowland is keeping his hands down though. You could tell he's pretty confident now. He picks him up.
Well, I mean, Anderson's not throwing back.
Yeah.
You know?
He's got his chin. He needs to.
Oh.
That's a big right hand. Big hook. Another hook.
He's getting caught with that left hook over and over.
Oh boy, he's
Turning around. Oh, wow.
Anderson on the run right now. Oh, he was on his heel there for a moment.
Anderson is way too stationary right now. He's been moving around.
He keeps leaning back with his chin up, and that's the worst thing you can do against somebody that's throwing big bombs and especially when they're
waiting on it.
especially when they're throwing overhands. Rowland's got a good jab too that he's peppering there. Wow.
And Anderson looking to his looking out of the cage a couple times. You don't want to do that and eat a shot that'll put the lights out. Right connected.
1, 4, 3, 2.
Corner asking for a combination from Rowland, right?
Yeah. And Rowland has really done a good job at not being over aggressive this fight. You know, last fight he's a little bit more aggressive. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Anderson's standing straight up with his back to the fence here. It's just probably not their best idea. He needs to circle off.
Yeah. And when he's throwing his punches, he's giving up his back as well, which is not a good thing to do either.
He's hesitating.
Yeah.
Way too much.
No. Never turn your back to your opponent. Never.
Anderson gassed and ate another left from Rowland. Oh, that stuns Anderson.
Oh.
And Rowland now on the attack.
Going into the finish.
Oh, that right connected. It's over.
It's over?
It's over. Anderson didn't look like he could defend himself.
Could have been okay. Yeah, it's amateur MMA. You know, these guys ain't getting paid for it. You know, they got to go home to jobs on Monday. So, you know, definitely respect the stoppage there.
Yeah.
Good job by Ben Rowland.
Yeah.
Ben didn't overdo it in trying to chase it. He knew he was in charge of this from the get-go. You could tell on body language, right? Here's a look at the replay, guys.
Yeah, he done a good job right here, just keeping them punches out there, you know. And like I said, Tim was just running from him basically the whole time, and he comes in and throwing these hard punches, and it's just the big nasty left hook there.
That was the start to the finish right there.
You know,
uppercuts.
Tim Anderson eating him from the bell, but I mean, he didn't really give up. He stayed in there. It's just sometimes, what are you going to do, you know?
Yeah, I think the fact that he was on the retreat the whole fight prior to that, when he did it again after eating a punch, I think Jimmy Neely said, we're done. So Ben Rowland picks up the win in the first round for our official decision announcement. Back to the cage and Jennifer Oxendine.
Your referee stops this fight at 2 minutes and 32 seconds into the first round for your winner by TKO out of the Hogs red corner, Ben